Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Publio. I'm going to sing a couple of songs to prepare our environment, to prepare our heart, to prepare our house, wherever you are listening to this Spiritist talk tonight. So let's prepare ourselves. Vibrate. When life lends a hand, it's time to open up your heart. It is time to love one another. It's time to take part. I pray always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. Song to Mother Zephyrina. Source of love that radiates, warming up our cold nights, support and comfort, support and comfort. Cascades flow down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their heart, with love in their heart. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. Oh, my mother Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessings. Make you small son, good Christian. Make you small son, a good Christian. Now a song that helps me a lot when I'm preparing to pray, and called Calm Me Down. I close my eyes to pray, I hear the sound of the sea far away. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. Body harmonizes, a welcome in the hay. Music lifts his piercing sweet ballet. Nature's love, constant giveaway. In joy, in peace, my heart's find its way. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. If I close my eyes to pray, I heard the sound of the sea far away. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. Maria harmonizes, how well turned needle hay. Music lifts, I spirits thy sweet ballet. Nature's love, constant giveaway. Joy and peace, my heart find its way. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. Now I'm gonna sing a song to Dr. Bezerra de Menezes, a protector spirits that well known in many different places. So, good old man. Oh, crystal white, color of the sky. Gray bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers, oh man. Suffering, living joy, or in pain. Crystal eyes, color of the sky. Gray bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Bezerra de Menezes, apostle of the good, receive our praise in all sorrow. Bezerra de Menezes, apostle of the light, place our pain at the feet of Jesus Christ. Ese Ese Apostle of the receive our praise in also our Ese Apostle of the light, place our pain at the feet of Jesus Christ. In preparing for the last song, Love in Action. Oh Jesus, here I am, my knees on the floor. Say thank you, my Lord, for the lights that come through this door. Your love is the key to change the entire world. Using these chains wisely, we live in peace and harmony. Now I understand, helping others is helping myself. Your words are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all this transformation, we just have to put love in action. Now I understand, helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Teachings have no frontiers. To see all this transformation, we just have to put love in action. Have a good night.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Spiritist Talk. My name is Rodrigo and I will be your host tonight. What a wonderful way to start 15 minutes of live music from our beloved Publio. Thank you, brother. And before we start, we would like to share a couple of announcements. We ask you to turn off your phone notifications and find a quiet place if that is possible. Our meeting will have a 30 minutes presentation followed by Q&A. Then after the presentation, we will have a spiritual treatment with passes and magnetized water. So we invite you to set aside a container with water to be magnetized. Our meeting is being retransmitted today by Continental Concafras Americas through their Facebook and also every Wednesday at 8 p.m. by Kardec Radio through their Facebook and YouTube. And for those of you who want to learn more about Spiritism, Get to Know Spiritism is a free and online course that happens every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. New class will be starting in fall. More information will be given soon, so stay tuned. And do you know we offer a live gospel at home? The gospel at home is an effective support for you and your family's spiritual harmony. We will motivate and guide you in establishing and maintaining the gospel at home. By posting in our chat, you can request it. Please let us know. And you are most welcome to include your or someone else's name on our list of positive vibrations. The person you indicate will be assisted by good spirits to provide healing energy and strengthen goodwill. Please find the link in our chat. And we are restarting the gospel according to Spiritism. The topic of today's meeting will be the objective of this work, item one, from the introduction, which will be facilitated by our brother Rodrigo Villar from Winnipeg. Everyone is welcome to write comments and questions in the chat, and they will be addressed at the end of the talk. And now, without further ado, we would like to welcome our dear brother Rodrigo, who will also be doing our opening prayer. How are you, my friend?
Hello, Rodrigo.
You are freezing a little bit. Let me stay around
How are
for a
you?
bit.
Hello, hello,
I am doing great. I think
hello.
you
Can you hear
froze a
me?
little bit, but I think you're back.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Welcome. Thank you for having me here.
It is our honor. You are always helping us behind the scenes. It's an even bigger honor to have you in the foreground today. Thank you. And I see you later.
Thank you. I'll see you later.
Bye.
So now I'm going to invite all of us before we start to have our opening prayer. I ask you if you wish to close your eyes. Let's take a deep breath in and out, elevating our thoughts to the good spirits, to our master, and the supreme intelligence, our creator. We ask you, master, and spiritual friends, to inspire and guide us tonight to share the introductory chapter of this book that will reveal important information about the moral teachings of our Master. Beloved Master, help us to open our minds and our hearts for the teachings, for the learning that we're going to share and reflect tonight. And we hope the information shared increase our knowledge, but also increase our capacity and ability to improve ourselves, and then use those changes and transformation to change the world around us, starting our family, the places that we work, the places that we share relationships with other people. Please, Master, allow us to be a good messenger of your message of love and hope. We thank you the opportunity, and we are very grateful for every opportunity that you gave to us. And we hope that we can do good things, always inspired by you as a model. Master, spiritual friends, our spiritual mentors, we ask that we can stay connected with you today, tomorrow, after tomorrow, and always. So be it. All right. So I'm going to start sharing my presentation soon. Just give me one writing here. I hope you can see my screen now. Let's start. So, thank you very much for having me here tonight. And for you that are gonna watch this now or on demand, so tonight we'll talk about item one of the introduction of the Gospel according to Spiritism, as Rodrigo mentioned. And this is essential to understand the objective of Kardec and the high spirits with this book, because it will guide us on how to read, reflect, and study this book. And I would like to start and remind you that the Gospel according to Spiritism is a specific reflection regarding the New Testament. And the New Testament, according to Kardec, can be divided into five main topics. One of those will be related to the ordinary events in the life of Christ. The second could be the miracles. So there are so many miracles described in the New Testament. The prophecies slash predictions. Not the miracles again. So then the words that served to establish the dogmas of the church. And then the moral teachings. So, when we looked, The first four are controversial and open to argument and discussion. For example, the life of Jesus. How much do we know about Jesus' childhood? People disagree if Jesus was born in December or not. So some science show that wasn't December because the way they describe in the Bible doesn't match the season. And then the miracles is still debatable because some people believe that's a miracle, it's incredible, it's supernatural. But as you know, as a spiritist, we think there is a reason behind and can be explained. The prophecies also can be challenged to some degree. So the dogmas, an example here in this picture, heaven and hell. So all these are debatable. However, my question to you, do you think the gospel according to Spiritism is about this? Is about all these four topics? And my answer to you is simple. No, it's not. But then you look at me, whoa, wait a minute, Rodrigo. So what this book is all about then? Well, it's about the moral teachings of Jesus. And you can ask me why the moral teachings. And Kardec provide a very simple answer. Because the moral teaching, the gospel has remained unquestionable. And all the disputes that we see that all belief systems, religion, and other topics are fundamental in those four that I previously described. But, for example, it's probably unanimous. I cannot say 100% unanimous because we know there is no unanimity in our planet. But I'm going to tell you that probably unanimous that virtues are important. Justice, love, compassion, selfishness is the vice. So then we know that virtues are probably good. And also we agree that maybe vices are not. And this is independent of what we believe or not. For example, if you ask to a spiritist, should we be good? I can guarantee they're going to say yes. If I ask the same question for the Catholics, evangelicals, agnostics, atheists, what do you think they will answer? Yes or no? And that's why Kardec decided to focus the gospel according to Spiritism and don't judge the book by the cover. Some people has this misunderstanding that Kardec wrote a new gospel, and is not. The gospel according to Spiritism is a reflection and analysis of the moral teachings of Jesus. Kardec didn't focus this book in the other four parts that we can find in the Bible. He didn't focus on the dogmas. He didn't focus on the miracles. He didn't focus on any of those points. What Kardec is trying to do is take the moral teachings, and we're going to see how that he did that as we go. So Kardec also says that moral teachings are the divine code. And you probably look now and listen to me and say, why? So with this code, this divine code, that's the moral teachings brought by Jesus, disbelief itself bows down. Why? When you find someone that's a really, really, really good person, as much as you don't like that person, it's really hard to go against that person because this moral elevation. And Kardec continues, is the ground upon which all sects can meet. For example, if we get different people with different belief systems and we come with a question, as I did before, everyone agree that the strong message of the gospel is love one another as Jesus loved us. Love is the strongest word that you're going to find. And it's hard for us to picture anyone that say, no, love is not important at all. What is important that I have all the money in the world and I can buy whatever I want. So this is the power of the message, that everyone's agree in that level. The banner under which all may take shelter. So is this moral teachings, the examples given by Jesus that is going to move the society to a new era, whatever their beliefs may be. Because if love is so important and we start to understand love as Jesus taught us, we will learn something quite important that nowadays we are missing: respect each other. Independently of my religious belief or not, independent of my political views, independent of choices, because love goes beyond. As Buzz Lightyear used to say, to infinity and beyond. So that's what love is all about, is to the infinity and beyond. If we learn how to really love in the essence that was taught, we do not need to fight. We don't need to have wars. We don't need to live in a country where a lot of people has no food, has no drinkable water. So this is an idea that when we reach that level of understanding, it becomes unacceptable to happen. And Kardec continues, for it has never been the object of religious dispute. Kardec is so wise because if you think about all the moral teachings that Jesus brought to us, any of the virtues that he showed us, it's hard to say that, no, Jesus was wrong. And if you find, please let me know. If you find anything on the Jesus teachings, the moral teachings, I'm not talking about if Jesus was born in December, or that's not the point. I'm talking about the moral teachings, the virtues that we need to have, and the vices that we need to let it go if this is not correct. Have you ever seen discussions about that? Someone say, no, you need to be bad. Another, no, you need to be good. Even the worst criminals have someone they love. So that's why it's important to understand the book and how we're going to read this book. So when you think of these moral teachings and why is a divine code, he has the ability to rule and create a space to show us how we should behave. So we can conduct and embracing all the circumstances of private and public life. Imagine that if the love that we have for our daughters and sons, for our parents, for our really close friends, just imagine if we could act in this mode of conduct and this behave in our private life, but also in our public life. Just imagine if we could share a little bit more of our resources for those in need. So the beauty of the moral teachings, it show us how we supposed to conduct ourselves morally and ethically. Why is the divine code? Because this divine code is a call for our moral transformation. Because Jesus invites us to change. We call this self-enlightenment. As more we study and we learn and we apply this, practically speaking, because that's what Jesus' model is about, he preach and he act. I cannot speak in other people's behalf, on my behalf, but how many times I preach one thing and do the opposite. So how many times we lack consistency? And if you are in that route, don't worry. All the humankind are in the same route because we are in the same planet. Basically, we are experiencing the similar challenges in different ways. Everyone's faced their inner challenge. And this challenge is an invitation for this moral transformation. Then maybe we do not have feelings about hating someone just because someone has a different opinion than mine. Maybe that someone has a different religious belief than mine, or they don't believe at all in anything. If you are truly Christian in the essence of Jesus' teachings, you're going to have compassion, empathy, and all those virtues. Because Jesus didn't judge anyone. He knew exactly what we are capable of and what challenge we have. And we still have. And he's still there supporting us. Sometimes we don't even understand how much, but look around you. Try to see all the supports that we receive, all the help that we have, that sometimes we're so focused on ourselves that we don't see all this help around us in many different ways. But if we start reflecting, we are very blessed because we have help. We just need to connect. So think about we're living in this virtual world where everyone is just good, fair, compassionate, happy. So it's the principle for all social relations. Moral values are key for anything single relationship. And this create a society. And this is start in our family. And then expand. So the infallible path to the happiness to come. Just imagine. I know that I'm looking like John Lennon right now. Imagine all the people. Yeah, but just imagine here that we can do all those steps. We change ourselves. We become more respectful of others' opinion. We have more patience. We have more compassion. We have more empathy. Just think about this path. Will not be much easier to live, to interact. What choices are we making Nowadays, we cannot do anything. If you post something on the internet, there's always someone to criticize. Always it become a huge discussion. And when you look at the discussion, it's about nothing. So just imagine this exercise. Because, those transformations are going to help us to find more peace. And if we are more peaceful, then we can create a place where peace will be with us, and that translates and cascades to the surrounding. So when you think about all those things, Kardec says that the moral teachings of Jesus Christ is the solely objective of the gospel according to Spiritism. And that's fundamental to understand, because when you read now this book, if you didn't read the objective before, now you have an idea how to read this book. The discussion is about the moral teachings. And why is that? Why Kardec focuses on the moral teachings and ignore the other four? So, when you think about and reflect about Jesus' moral teachings, everyone admires the gospel morality, the type of person that we can become if we apply those. Everyone proclaims its sublimity and necessity. If you talk about among humans, you're going to see that people are going to tell that love is important, justice is important, social justice is important, compassion is important, empathy is important. So all the virtues are important. And everyone is going to agree that the vices like ego, selfishness, excessive pride. So people are going to come with agreement that, yeah, that's a problem. And the virtues are the solution. Patience, and so on and so forth. So, however, Kardec is quite clear here that many people claim their faith in the gospel. And if you look at around 8 billion of people, most of them claim their faith in the gospel. But now the next statement is for deeper reflection. However, few know the gospel teaches in depth, and even fewer understand the gospel teachings and know how to deduce its consequences. Kardec is provoking here a deeper reflection because read the Bible or any book doesn't mean that you understand. And maybe you understand, but you don't understand the consequences because you don't have the ability to apply. And this is basically what's happening since humankind exists. We think that is nowadays because of the social media. No, it's just us. Remember that we are the ones that activate the social media. We are the ones that type, that record videos, that turn it on and off. We need to deduct the consequences. And what consequences? If I have moral consequences of my action, if I have good choice, if I make good choices, most likely you're gonna have good consequences. Maybe not in the time that you want, and when do you want, but it will come, and the vice versa. That's why we need to now, with this advice of Kardec, we need to study, and we need to apply the teachings. What teachings? The moral teachings. When you read now the Gospel according to Spiritism, try to understand the teachings. And Kardec and the high spirits are going to help a lot. And Kardec bring this information that I think are going to make sense to all of us. How many of you, why is difficult to understand the gospel? Of course, I cannot say here. Raise your hand if you have. And why? Because it's difficult to read sometimes. And why is that? Kardec's quite clever that they cover most of the problem. What's the challenge that we have? So first, we need to understand the context. So there is a lot of allegorical form of language and is, let's say, slangs of the time that is in a context, in a cultural context, in a certain level of education, in a certain place that needs to be taken in consideration. We cannot just transport this context to nowadays and try to apply it literally letter by letter, because the context is different. But we can transfer the understanding if we can understand. Many topics are unintelligible or even illogical because we lack understanding of their true meaning. So there is a passage on the gospel that Jesus said, the translation said, you have to hate your mother, hate your son, hate your daughter. We need to stop and thinking, hate, this word first, is that correct? Was the translation correct? And first, are the word hate in our Western language is the same meaning as 2,000 years ago, that when the New Testament was written? And remember, the Bible, the Old Testament, the New Testament, they are not, they were done together. So you have probably 1,000 years prior Christ of the Old Testament, and then 2,000 years from now from the New Testament. So, and the language that time is different. The Hebrew vocabulary was poor. They don't have a lot of words to express. So, it was a context based in understanding. So, sometimes in the conversation, many people do not benefit from the gospel because they read without understanding it. And we need to reflect, use your logical reasoning. Logic and reasoning help you to understand. And there are many cases that people take it literally, what's being said, but you need to understand the context. You need to understand the meaning behind the scenes. And the other problem, the moral precepts go unnoticed. We become so focused on the literal translation that we forgot about what's the moral precept here. Because think about, Jesus was talking with people with a low level of education there. Doesn't mean they were good people or are evolved spirits, don't get me wrong, but many of them didn't know how to read and how to write. A few could write and read. The Pharisees was the ones, most the doctors of the law and the Sadducees, or the one that know more about. They have more, let's say, this intellect between brackets. They could read, but they could not understand what's the message. A quick example: when Jesus healed someone on Saturday, instead of saying, "Oh, he healed that man," and this man now can proceed, live in society, be productive. They are talking about Jesus. No, no, you cannot do this on Saturday. That's wrong. And all debate was about a miracle between brackets that helped on Saturday. So that was the problem. And when you still copy and paste the same type of analysis, the same narrow view without thinking about the moral precepts. So, to better convey the message, Kardec gathered in this book the passage that constitutes a universal moral code per se. And he took apart from religious differences. That's not the point. It's not what the focus. The focus is really let's analyze the passages and the message. And those are the universal moral code. Why? Because that's how we should live in society. What method Kardec used to do that? First, he grouped and classified systematically the maxims of Jesus. And then he added his comments and the teaching dictated by the spirits. Then he explained obscure passages and teachings and show application to various situations of life. So interesting Kardec idea here is like, let's get the messages and group them by moral teachings. So let's analyze and reflect about. Then he also talked to the spirits through the mediums and start to analyze those messages and try to extract the moral teachings and how we're going to apply in our lives. Because if we stop in the first two, it doesn't help that much. We need to apply. And that's why, it's for this reason, Kardec stated that Spiritism is the key to understand the gospel because it provides the real meaning of the moral teachings of Jesus. Did you notice how many times I said moral in this talk? 175. Good guess. So a lot. Why? Because that's the key of the book. If you skip the introduction of the book, you don't get it. And please read the preface of the book because the Spirit of the Truth really reveal why this book needs to be written. And here is clear. The objective of this book, when we read it, we're going to focus on the moral teachings. Said moral again. So, and your question, okay, Rodrigo, so who can read this book then? The Gospel according to Spiritism is for everyone's use. Oh, but I'm not a Spiritist. That's fine. Read it. Try to understand the moral teachings. So, what do you have to lose? If you disagree, that's fine. We can use it to adjust our actions. Look at this. Kardec is not telling that we should adjust other people's actions. It's our actions, our thoughts, our emotions to the morals of Jesus. Basically, Kardec is here showing like, Jesus is your model. Copy and paste. Don't try to be different. So that's the best example and model that we can give to humankind. When you look at Jesus' teachings, forgot about Christianity in religion in a very restricted sense. Look at the actions of Jesus, the thoughts, and the teachings. Focus on the moral. Oh, Rodrigo, now I'm going to share something with you. I'm lost. How can I study the gospel? Well, Kardec thought about everything. And Kardec showed Kardec methods, let's call it that way. You have the Kumo methods, you have so many methods. Kardec methods of study Spiritism, especially this book, first define the subject of the content. What the content you want to learn about it. You can pick it randomly, you can select item by item, page by page, passage by passage. It's up to you. So, two, comment on the idea considered the most difficult to understand. Start with the most difficult to understand and discuss. Think, reflect. That's why it's always good to study with more than one because then you share ideas, perspective. So present the idea that caused the greatest impact. So this is another good exercise for reflection because maybe you're gonna notice that what impact you may did not impact the other person. Maybe other thing impact them. Then you start to understand each other better. And then propose practical applications of the subject being analyzed. So, okay, we learned that. So, how are we going to apply the content? So, that's a great idea. However, if you want to join us on Saturday, you can study with us, get to know Spiritism. And that we're going to discuss about those things about the uh, Gospel according to Spiritism and other books. And then we're going to discuss those topics in the same sequence that Kardec taught us. And to finalize my talk, I want to finish with a sentence from Kardec that say the Spiritist teachings are truly voices from heaven that have come to enlighten humans and invite us to practice the gospel. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm more than glad to answer any question that you may have.
Thank you very much, brother. I think I have already studied the introduction of the Gospel according to Spiritism, but I did not remember so much what you have said. So thank you for this good reminder for all of us. We tend to skip to the content after introduction, but I can see now, I mean, you gave us all more reasons to start from the beginning, introduction, reasoning.
Yeah,
Thank you
I
for
think
enlightening us.
yeah, I think that's quite a great point because we tend to do this with all the books. So we tend to skip the preface in the introduction and go straight to the chapter, but you miss the essence of the book because the core nature of the book is are in just two parts: the preface and the introduction, because they generally gonna show you what you are gonna expect from that book. And the biggest message, take home message, if you have to say a very small sentence, this book is about the moral teachings. That's all it's about.
176.
This is the lens that you have to put. Any other lens, you're gonna misunderstand the reading, and you're gonna misunderstand the discussion, and you're gonna go to discussions that is not the point. It's misplaced, and this is a mistake of perspective. My suggestion for every book for now on, what I learned from today is like read the preface and read the introduction.
Yeah. We kind of see the book or its contents from another perspective, right? We are more focused. Like we are, I guess it equips us to better understand what Kardec is trying to say to us once we understand what is the focus of the book, and and it's amazing. Like we are, I'm glad we are studying this once again. It's amazing how much more we can extract the second time we study the introduction of the gospel according to Spiritism, and how much more we are going to learn and extract as a little more mature the third time we study. And why stop there? Fourth, fifth, sixth.
That's the beauty about those books is, as you said, our interpretation is according to the moment that we are spiritually speaking. And because our life changed and we sometimes we don't notice, but we transform ourselves slightly day by day. We don't. The problem that we don't focus that because we think transformation needs to be big. So, but every day we move towards something, and we hope that's something good. And if you read the same thing now and 1 week from now, 1 month from now, 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're not the same person anymore. And those teachings touch you in a different way. And that's the thing, as you said. So you can, how many times can I read this book? You are never going to stop learning, read those books because our lens is always progressing and we become better and we see more teachings and we understand more and then we start to connect the dots easily.
Oh, awesome. And we do have one question from, actually two questions. One from our friend Publio. Among all the teachings of Jesus Christ left to humankind, what is the most important to us to understand and put in action?
Love and charity. Do I need to
Short and
explain?
sweet. No.
So charity is loving action.
Yeah.
And Jesus told the disciples, love one another as I loved you. See, the thing is, loved each other as he loved us. The question becomes, are we there yet? But this is to me is the two, love and charity.
Yeah. And another question from Marceli. Is there any course where we can study the gospel according to Spiritism and the teachings of Jesus through Spiritism? I think I saw something in your slides.
I think I saw at the beginning, and now we are promoting a lot of courses that
Yes.
why we do that because I think if people that want to learn more about it, they get in touch. It's a great opportunity just to try and see, right? To see if some of your questions, because sometimes you have a lot of questions that you can study on the get to know spiritism, for example, that I showed before, because then there we're going to speak about God. And a lot of people don't understand how spiritists understand God or how much we don't understand God. I think that's the better way. Then we're going to talk about the moral teachings of Jesus. We talk about reincarnation. So talk about communication with the spirits because those are the pillars of spiritism, right? And then, of course, charity as the loving action. So the motor of the transformation.
As we say here.
That's right. So if you look at the logo, right, Spirits Canada,
Yeah.
charity, the way. And you have a chapter in the gospel that's it's called Without Charity, There is No Salvation. And it's not about without spiritism. I need to be clear. It's not about without a religion. And no, it's charity. And I think that's the way Kardec put it in the perspective. So it's about what we do, not what we say.
And as a quick follow-up question from our brother Rafael Medeiros, is the course free of charge? Are you guys volunteers?
Thank you, Raphael. Hello to United States. Charlotte. So North Carolina, yes, the course is free. Is in English. Everyone is volunteer, so nobody receiving anything. But I guarantee that everyone that teach do this with the most love they can do it and the best way they can do it. And thank you, Rafael, for the questions. And we have this study here in Canada, and take the opportunity. The group United States also have that course. So then, if you want to know more about, you can contact us in our email, Facebook, and YouTube pages.
Wonderful. That's all the questions we have for tonight. Thank you very much, my friend, for serving us the water of life once again.
Thank you very much and have a wonderful night.
You too, my friend. And now it's time to move on to the preparation of tonight's spiritual treatment. Pass is the transfusion of spiritual energy with the goal of assisting with our physical, emotional, and mental balance. Passes help us to restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with healthy, positive energy. And in order to receive the best benefits from passes, please follow the audio instructions or just remain in prayer. And you may even close your eyes if it helps you with mentalization. And during the pass, the water you set aside will also absorb the spiritual energy that you and your family can benefit from. And we are now going to make our final prayer in preparation for the Pass, which is going to be our closing prayer as well. So, once again, we ask you to close your eyes and think, try to picture our bigger brother, Jesus. Oh Lord, thank you. It's one more Tuesday, and once again, here we are united in your holy name in one more round of studies. Thank you for the blessings, for the chance we have to study the gospel according to Spiritism together, all of us again. One more round of all these teachings with an old audience, new audience, new questions, new interactions. Thank you, Father. For your trust in our imperfect hands, and for the assistance of our spiritual mentors, the patrons, guardians of this study, the patrons of Spiritism Canada. Thank you, dear brothers, for your ongoing assistance, preparation, and trust. May God bless you profoundly. And we also ask you, Father, to bless our brother Rodrigo, who dedicated his time once again to prepare another talk. Bless his family, his home. We ask you, Father, to also bless all those names in our vibration list. May your mercy, your light, your peace reach the hearts of all of those in our list who can be suffering, going through difficulties. Help each one of them, Father. Make them feel your presence, your peace. Help us, Father, to continue this work, to be here again next week. In your holy name, amen.
Let's get ready for the pass and water. Let's get ready for the pass and water fluidification. Please get a container with clean water to be fluidified. Brothers and sisters, it does not matter where you are, what type of hardships you are going through. Jesus is always ready to come and help us. Place yourself in a comfortable position which can make it easy for you to reach concentration and receptiveness. Breathe slowly and easily. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Fill up your lungs with air and let it out very slowly. Let tranquility and peace energies penetrate your lungs and move throughout your body. Your soul in harmony with your body feels easy and in peace. Let's imagine Jesus' passage. A clear day, the sun's golden rays illuminate the happy passage in Capharnaum. A lot of white houses, multicolored vines, and hopping birds fill the landscape with optimism. The news about cures attracted the crowd in need. Suddenly, Jesus appears slim and handsome. His tunic was hanging down to his feet. At sunset, all those with sick people hit by several illnesses would bring them, and as he placed his hands over each one, he would heal them. This is what Luke the evangelist says. Let's imagine Jesus approaching you. He holds his friendly hands over our head. Notice that from his generous hands, a waterfall with clear and pure water originated from his love come to bathe you. It flows on your head, goes down your shoulders, bathe all your being, and brings you peace, serenity, and balance. They remove all impurities and pacify you. Feel the water bathing you, cleaning. Breathe. Now, imagine Jesus as a sun before you. His light, his warmth surrounds you. Feel the healing energy that comes from Jesus towards you. He hears your prayers. Trust him. His love is endless and it follows you and protects you. It provides you with everything you need. Have faith. Absorb the healing energy from Jesus. His light surrounds you. Feel the energy going through all your body. Feel stronger and in peace. Lord Jesus, our divine friend, reach out your generous hands, Lord, and change this water into medicine for our physical and spiritual illnesses. Protect us, Jesus, with your peace. Spread those vibrations of love throughout my home, Lord. May peace, health, and tranquility reign here. We are very grateful to you, Jesus. Stay with us today and forever. Thank God. Please remember to use the fluidified water.
Oh, thank you for joining us tonight again and for your comments. We will be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada and Continental Concaferous Americas at 8 p.m. Eastern, and next Wednesday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. And don't forget to follow Spiritism Canada on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and the Spiritist group Path of Light on Facebook as well. Have a wonderful night. God bless you.
Wherever you are, glowing seeds of love, as our Master Jesus taught. You will see that behind every sight there's a flame shining bright, tiny spark created by God. I will follow your path, Father, 'cause nobody's alone in life, and the scars of my destiny will be healed by your love. Disseminate